Alright guys, Ian Anderson from Central Coast Disc Golf, and we're at the 2016 Ledgestone Open, brought to you by Discraft, and we are super lucky to be joined by Nate Heinold. Say what's up, Nate.
Yes, good, just tired, but ready to see the action here.
Yeah, you set up some beautiful courses out there, had a great tournament. How'd it go?
It was great. We had great weather, just a little bit of rain, lots of wind, and many fewer complaints than last year.
Always a good thing, sir.
Always
Right.
good. And, it was great to have all these competitors from all around the world.
Yeah, world-class event for sure. But, hey buddy, let's watch some disc golf.
Let's do it.
Alright gang, we're starting off on a hole 4 and 8 for our feature card.
This is a tough starting hole. Pretty tight, 345. If you miss the gap and hit a tree, you're probably making bogey.
Yeah, it looks like you can get some nasty kicks off these trees too.
A lot of these players kind of complain how tight this hole is, but not so much here.
Yeah, Paul Mcbeth not having issues. So we finished a little long right, it looked like.
Yeah, that's not a bad spot to be.
Cool.
There's room there.
Cool. From a 4X World Champ to a 3X World Champ, Nate Doss.
I think he was throwing a wasp there, and he really, really cut the corner there, and
Wow.
very close to being really bad.
Yeah, but turns out really well. Is this Kale?
These guys are just making this hole look easy. I promise most players that play this hole get very frustrated.
That's what the pros do, Nate. They make it look easy, don't they?
This was, this is kind of the play when you're trying to just make a three, is throwing this weird, forehand roller. It's not a bad option if you don't feel comfortable with the backhand.
Gotcha. So that's Chris Finn from Dude Clothing.
Yeah, Chris was very supportive of this event by offering up 18 shirts to support St. Jude.
Oh, very cool. So here is Chris's second shot, little Annie up.
Pretty good shot there for Chris.
Yeah, that'll play. And we got Paul from the woods coming back towards the basket for his birdie. Yep.
Wow, pretty standard there for Mr. Mcbeth.
Yeah, he doesn't miss those often. And Kale doesn't miss putts often either.
And these baskets are super nice and forgiving, and so if you get it in the chains, it's staying in. So
is it one of those like is it Mach X or what is it?
It's a Mach X. That they powder coated them for us. We replaced the end of the baskets, I think 2 years ago, and these baskets are awesome.
Very cool. I love having powder coated baskets at tournaments. They pop on film so much better than the gray.
Especially in the woods, it's so much better to have you just see the holes better.
Exactly. Nate also carded a birdie there. Chris taking a lone par. Only losing a stroke to the superstars. And we're on to hole 5, and tell us what the game plan is here, Nate.
This is kind of the signature hole of the course, just the drive. You can kind of flex a sidearm over the hill or just lay up to the top of the cliff to that little beautiful peninsula green. It's a really easy par 4. It'd be a really hard par 3.
Okay.
Paul's surprisingly taking the easy, safe route. A lot of the top players throw that flex sidearm to try to make the eagle, but oh well.
Yeah, it looked like he was throwing was it a gator?
I didn't even know he had a gator in his bag.
I think he might carry a gator, but it looked like Doss was throwing a buzz or something. Here's Kale.
And none of these guys are taking that route I just talked about. They're all being boring.
They're playing smart, safe golf.
They're playing smart golf.
Yep. And Chris?
And they all got through the gap. The gap is not big.
Wow.
It's a very tiny gap, and Chris kind of skipped down the cliff a little bit there. Could have a tough lie.
Really cool shaped hole.
As I said, it's kind of our signature hole.
I like it. And so that was that Kale going a forehand right
Kale
there?
from sidearm here. Yeah. Yep.
And Doss, look like he's throwing his challenger.
I think he actually threw challenger off the tee as well.
Yeah. He throws that thing far.
Yep.
It was either a gator or a monster for Paul. And Paul weaving that upshot.
Just sneaks it off the green, but he should have just 20 feet there for a birdie 3.
Okay, so there's no OB around the basket.
Nope, it's all casual here.
Very cool. So looking at Chris's shot. That was his third, I believe?
That was his third shot, yeah. No, that was his second shot.
Was it? Okay.
I think his drive skidded down the hill. So.
Oh, gotcha.
So as you can see, for most of these guys, it's really not a hard par 4.
Yeah. As long as you hit that gap off the tee anyway.
Wow, good putt there for Chris.
That was.
3.
Yeah, tricky stance, and he banged it. Paul went a little bit long, comes back for his birdie, no worries. Kale and Nate tapping in as well.
If you hit early on that hole, it can be dangerous.
I can see the rough looks pretty rough.
The rough is rough, and we've done a lot to clean it up, actually.
Wow, like a good natural B. I kind of like it.
Yep.
Kale taking the lone par there. Some nice birdies from everybody else. Bring us to hole 6, and what are we doing here, Nate?
Pretty straightforward, just straight all the way right to the end, and hyzer's just at the end for a right-hander. It plays a little shorter because the green's pretty fast, pretty dry green. So
yeah.
For most of these guys, they're throwing a mid-range or maybe even a putter. So
okay. Paul Mcbeth keeping that box, staying birdie so far.
And that looks parked.
That's what you're trying to do right there?
Yep, I think Nate's throwing his wasp again.
It looks like it. Same
That
line.
looked a little early, actually, but he kind of snuck through there on the left side.
He sure did. Good shot. And Chris taking the box from Kale. Throws a little hyzer flip.
Looking pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Chris has to feel a little bit intimidated by playing with 3 of the top players in the world, so far he's not showing any signs of stress or anything.
Right? Yeah, playing with Paul always gets my nerves going. It's a hell of a thing. Got 7 world championships on the card.
And then Kale's no slouch either, putting that probably M4 way up there.
Yeah. He throws that M4 so beautifully.
I know he does.
So here he is pitching out. Almost gets a birdie.
Kind of, he was in some tall rough there.
He was. Is that Chris?
Looks like Chris, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice putt there.
That was a great putt. And Doss with a Doss park job.
That wasp's pretty solid.
He's been throwing that disc a lot lately.
Yep.
And Paul just another casual birdie. Kale dropping in a par. Kale's one of the nicest guys in disc golf, I gotta say.
And he's very supportive of this event, and he's just a great guy.
He is, man. I always love hanging around and filming him and stuff. Good times.
Yep. Hole 7 is the easiest hole in the course, and it actually played the easiest hole in the course during the tournament for this round. Just really, a lot of players will go way wide with a sidearm for a righty or a lefty hyzer, or you can go up the middle with maybe a putter turnover, which is probably what we see Doss do here.
Okay. Yeah, it seems pretty open until you get to the green.
Very open.
And the Beast going forehand. That looked like his Star Destroyer.
He caught that tree, I think it looks like, about 150 feet from the tee.
Yeah, a little bit short. Doss playing a little bit wide.
I mean, there's so much room over there, and when Nate throws a sidearm, you know it's probably a sidearm hole.
Yeah, this is very true. He doesn't go to it too often. Chris Finn apparently goes to it even less often.
And this is the other shot that people throw, is that slow turnover, but kind of glides out a little bit there.
Mm-hmm. Pretty looking throw, though. And Kale. That's looking nice.
Looks like a putter there.
Yeah, it does. Beautiful
Nice
shot from Kale. Yeah.
Yep.
So Paul, after that early tree hit.
He's way out here.
Oh, he was, wasn't he?
He caught the one tree that you can't miss, basically.
Yep. Chris, after some good encumbered putts, misses the unencumbered putt and gets a roll.
Rolls away.
Oh, no.
And that is very steep back there.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh.
Wow, Nate making a great putt.
Yeah, not afraid of that steepness you're talking about. Coming back up the hill.
And see, that's losing a stroke and a half on the field for sure there.
Yeah. Kale carding the birdie. Paul is going to clean up a par. And Chris, after that unfortunate rollout, is going to be taking a bogey.
Yeah, a bogey for Chris and a par for Paul. Can't feel good for either one of those guys.
Yeah, you can tell neither of them are too stoked off that. Looks like Nate.
So
yeah. taking the lead now.
We actually go from the easiest hole in the course to the hardest hole in the course. It's just kind of right in front of you, 408 downhill. Not a lot to say. It plays shorter because the green is very fast, but this hole actually plays about a half stroke over par because it is tight and long.
Yeah, 400 feet dead straight is not an easy shot.
And Nate kind of got a great kick there.
Did he really?
He would have been way in the woods, and he kicked right and then back out. So
I missed that kick back out. Look
Wow.
at that shot from Leiviska.
I mean, that's like 45, 50 short, but really that's a really, really good throw here.
Wow. It looks like Paul's throwing his Metal Flake T-Bird 3. Taking the same line as Cale.
And that looks gorgeous.
What?
Wow. I would say that's a 1070 rated shot there.
Unbelievable. See what Chris can do after watching those last two throws.
Oof.
Yeah. Is there OB over there?
No, there's no OB, but you're pitching sideways if you're over there, so there's really no option to get to the hole.
Oh yeah, as we can see right here.
I mean, he wasn't going anywhere with that shot, and it's very tough.
Yep, just a straight pitch out. Nate Doss with a beautiful looking upshot, maybe a little bit short.
Great shot there. That's why this is a good hole, because you won't get rewarded for throwing a bad drive. You're going to be pitching out and probably making a bogey.
Yep. Ooh, Cale gave it a good chance.
Good run there by Cale, and then
Paul Mcbeth, Nate.
That's probably a 1 in 20 deuce there for the field if I had to guess. So
yeah, might have been even lower.
It looks like, according to UDisc, 9% of the field birdied it. So
really?
Probably 1 in 10 it looks like. So
wow,
still surprising.
It is. Chris cleaned up a bogey. Cale is cleaning up a par. No shame in a par on that one, though.
No.
Said, not losing strokes to that many people. Paul's 4 down. Now tying with Nate. Now we're on to hole 9. What's the deal?
This is actually probably the third hardest hole in the course. Just a really tough angle for a righty or a lefty. It's a long turnover that kind of is a really tough angle. So it's wooded. The rough is brutal. Don't miss left.
Gotcha. Paul is throwing his Mako 3.
That's gorgeous.
See that rabbit?
Gorgeous. Wow.
Shot.
He's good.
He's pretty good at this disc golf thing. Nate Doss going TI Buzz.
And oh my goodness.
That was
what
close.
Was that? That was such a good kick. He was going to be in jail to the right.
Really?
He may have hit the spotter. I can't even tell.
Yeah, I think it kicked up the tree right in front of him. It looked like. Oh, Cale looked like a nasty kick, Nate.
And that's bogey territory all day over there. That's rough.
Oh man, I like this course so far. It's got some really great natural OB.
It's a great. It does not reward you for missing your drive. That is a nice line there. Just a late kick left for Chris.
So you think Cale's just playing for a hopeful bogey at this point, or?
I mean, it looks like he actually got fortunate to have some kind of. He wasn't that deep in the woods, because it is not pretty in the rough in this hole.
Yeah, it looks dense. Chris is off to the left-hand side of the fairway, pitches out with a forehand. Finishes pin high left. Love a
decent kick there.
Yeah. And, some great drives from Paul and Nate. We're looking at Paul for birdie.
And to birdie those holes back to back, you're looking at you're gaining significant strokes on the field there.
Yeah, I wonder if he's the only person to do that day.
I would say there probably were very few.
Yep. Cale salvaged a par amazingly after that drive.
That's a major league par there.
And so did Chris, I believe.
Yeah, I think he did. No, yeah, I think Chris was left somewhere, and I don't know if he had an upshot as well. So
yeah, there it is.
He did say par.
Yeah, he did. Nate looks like he missed his putt, but he was pretty far out. This is carding a par. Hole 10. Where's the pin?
This is actually one with hazard rule OB. It's a really easy shot, 305, kind of a sidearm, low ceiling, or a Anheuser right at it. Hazard rope all around. If you go outside of the hazard, play it from where it lies with a 1-stroke penalty.
Okay. Paul's going back to that T-bird 3 on a turnover line.
Looks a little low. The grass here, there's just no skip at all. There's really, you have to land it within 10 feet to get it anywhere close. It stops on a dime, basically.
It looks like he got a little cut roll even.
Yeah.
Doss going back to that TI Buzz.
Nice shot there.
Sure was. Kale? Playing a really similar line to Nate. Just a little bit lower. But
And as you can see, the grass just eats it up, but still a good shot.
Mm-hmm.
This is the preferred shot for me, and the sidearm here, I like it a lot, but that is not what Chris wanted there.
Yeah, a little early tree action. Looking at his second shot, throwing a hyzer flip to turnover.
Looks close to the ropes, but it looks like he's in bounds there.
Great. So it looks like Paul just barely stayed in.
And what a shock.
Made a putt.
This guy's good at disc golf.
He is, man. He's got a fire lit after Worlds.
Yeah, he does.
He doesn't like that whole losing thing. And Doss makes a good putt for birdie.
Yep, good putt by Nate.
Chris looking to save a par.
Good putt by Chris.
Yeah. And Kale's going to be coming back for his par.
This is a hole, 10, 11, and 12 are a pretty three-hole stretch that you just really want to get them all. They're all, shorter than 300 feet, pretty deuceable, and even the hazard rope is there just to penalize bad shots.
Oh, wow. No, Nate.
Wow.
Must have been amp side, right?
That was not the basket. He was left for sure. So.
Yeah. Wow.
That's losing. Bogeying that hole can't feel good for Kale.
No. I've noticed those baskets, they won't spit through, but if you hit off center, they're not as forgiving, I would say.
Yeah, if you hit left especially, yeah, exactly. This hole is another hazard rope hole, just kind of straightforward. A right-hander just can throw a low hyzer, a lefty can go way wide. Mm-hmm. There is hazard rope about 40 feet left, right, and long of the basket.
Okay. Looks like Paul's throwing a rock.
Paul's kind of taking the preferred route, just a little hyzer.
That'll do.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yes.
So
Nate going back to his wasp, which is a rock by another name.
Didn't quite get it up enough, and that's kind of the guardian tree there, kind of the only hole's defense there.
Does he have a putt from there, or how far out is he?
He's probably 70 feet out there still. And Chris is flirting with the hazard rope here. Looks like he did hyzer. Hyzer off the. Wow, that's close.
That is close. Looks out of bounds.
Looks like he's out of bounds.
Yeah.
So he actually would play it from there with a one-stroke penalty.
Okay.
So technically, I guess it's not out of bounds. It's in a hazard, I guess, is how the PDJ calls it. And Kale kind of does the same thing Nate did. It just got a little bit too high, and he's going to have a long, long jump putt from there.
That guardian tree is doing its job.
It is. And Nate, decent run there.
Mm-hmm. Kale, he's just laying up.
Yeah, he had a lot of room behind the basket to go for it. I'm surprised he didn't give it a run at least.
Yeah. And so here's Chris playing 3 from the hazard and saves par, Nate.
Wow. That's a great save.
That was, man. He's made some really good putts this round. I did not know he was such a good putter.
He was probably just outside the circle there, so that's a solid putt there.
Yeah. And Paul doing Paul things.
He's Paul's on pace here. I would say the course record's 47. He's on good pace here to do something special this round. It looks like.
Awesome. It's funny when I watch Paul shoot course records. It almost comes across as boring.
Yeah, it's
because he makes it look so easy.
He's a very boring disc golfer. He throws so far, putts so well.
Yep.
He makes it look too easy.
Absolutely. There he is. He is 7 down, 2 clear. Nate Doss taking us to hole 12. And what are you doing here, Nate?
Hole 12 is probably the second or third easiest hole in the course. For a right-hander, you're just throwing a Firebird flick. It's very overstable disc, just on a sweeping hyzer. Very, very slow green. Hardly any skip because the grass is clumpy. For a lefty, you're throwing sidearm. So Paul's probably throwing a monster here or something like that.
Whoa.
Okay. Or that. Oh my goodness! Wow. I've seen this course played many, many times, and I've never seen someone try that kind of shot. This is the preferred shot here for most players.
He made that monster work, man.
Wow.
Paul had a little bit of Simon Lizotte in him right there.
That was crazy. And Nate just threw the preferred route and did kind of the same thing, but Paul's definitely looked cooler.
It
So
sure did. It almost smashed it in.
Chris went a little wide here, it looks like. You really have to cut the corner, and he got kind of lucky to get around that tree there.
Mm-hmm.
A little deep there.
A little longer putt than he was looking for.
Yep.
And Leiviska.
It's got to get up a little bit. It's got to skip hard. Yeah, he got out there a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit of love.
Yep.
So it looks like Chris is probably me putting first. Yep. Little long right. Oh, scared it.
He's been putting well so far this round.
Sure has. Especially those awkward ones.
Kale making a nice birdie there.
Yeah, buddy. And Chris coming back for his par. Well done.
You just have to wonder if Paul was just trying to show off there, because that I wouldn't even say that was necessary. That was crazy good there.
It sure was. I mean, he took all the trees out of the equation though, so you got to give him
He
that.
did. I mean, I played this course for 15 years and I've never seen that shot. So
You always see some fun things when the big boy arms come to your town,
there you
right?
go. There you go.
Yep. Well, cool guys. That is all we got for part one. Nate, thanks for joining me. Good times, man.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and we'll catch you guys in part two. Thanks for watching.